Let's paint easy tulips in this watercolour beginner-friendly tutorial. Honestly, you can do this. You really can. So I'm just mixing up some Rose Madder Deep. Use whatever colour you like. Tulips are in lots of different colours. I'm using a Princeton Neptune brush. Light pressure first, press down and lift up slowly and repeat that, and you've got your first little petal. And then another petal that's opening out and join it up at the end. And that is basically your tulip shape. Grab a bit more colour and just add that to the edges, and then just move it round ever so slightly. There's enough water on the page already, you don't need to add any more water. And I'm just moving the paint and the pigment around, and I'm just grabbing a tiny bit of water, and then we can do our second tulip. This one's at a bit of an angle, but the same method, light pressure and then heavy for the brush to fan out and create a fuller petal. And then I'm just adding some sort of wispy bits or tiny petals just on the edge, just to make it a bit more sort of arty, a bit more creative, a bit more expressive. I'm going to do one more here just to make the composition look a little bit nicer. And I've kept it all in real time for you. You can do this in under 10 minutes if you want, even quicker if you just want to paint one tulip. But as it's tulip season, I thought we'll just do 3. Nice and slowly, take your time, and if you are a beginner, you can do this. I'm switching to a silver black velvet brush size 4. I'm just grabbing a bit of that yellow. Oh, that's too much. That is just too much. So I'm just going to drop it in whilst the petals, whilst the tulips are just a touch bit wet or slightly damp, and that will bleed and bloom nicely into the petals. And then I'm going to switch back to my other brush, only because I feel like it's a touch bit bigger and it will blend the colours in a bit more nicely. And just to explain, the look I was going for was not one complete colour, not completely red and not completely yellow, but just a hint of 2 colours blended really nicely together. The secret is to add the colour in whilst the petals are a touch bit damp, so that you can blend it all in nicely and it just looks naturalish. I'm not going for perfect, I just want something to look nice. I've got some sap green light and I added in a bit of that red as well, just to get it slightly darker, and I'm just going in with the stem. Don't think about it too much, just do it. Just practice if you want to practice first as well. But honestly, I find it easier when I do the lines or do the stem quickly. If I think about it too much, it just comes out all wrong. So just do it. Just do it. You can practice first though if you want to on another piece of paper. We're going to paint the big leaf now. You know how tulips have these big leaves. So again, feel free to practice first, but we're just going to do light pressure first as we go up. Press the brush down, and then as you lift up, lighter pressure. You can do a little flick to get that thin bit as well on the end. And then we're going to do that again on this side, exactly the same. I'm sorry, my hand is in the way there, so you can't see that. And then I'm just going to put one on the third one to make it look like it's going the opposite direction to where we're looking. And I'm quite pleased with that. I'm very happy with that. I hope you are happy with yours as well. By the way, I'm Shanaz and this is Bloom Art by SW. Thank you so much for being here. So I've gone back to that same red that I started off with originally. And what I'm going to do is just add some sort of shading and some darker areas, just to bring out the petals a bit more and just to make them look a bit more lively. Just by doing this line in the middle, it just separates the petals and makes it look like there's more than one petal. Let me show you on this one. Look how that line just completely transforms it and makes it into a tulip. And then we're just going to make some of these petals stand out a bit more with some wiggly lines. It's bloomed really nicely there on that paper, on that middle petal. And then just do a few of these little touches. If you do follow me on TikTok, you'll notice how I like these little touches so much, because that's what transforms a simple flat picture into something that's vibrant and stands out and makes it look 3D. And then with a small clean brush, I'm just going to blend some areas just to make it look a bit nicer, and just spend a little bit of time on it, not too much. We don't want to overwork the paper. We don't want to do too much and then ruin our picture. Just little bits. With that same dark green, I'm going in just on the edges with a little bit of darker green, just to make the leaves stand out a little bit more and just give it some shadow, define the leaves a bit more, give it some contrast, give it some interest, and just make it all stand out. Same thing again, take your time, nice and slow brush strokes. You don't need to rush. If you haven't got 10 minutes and you've only got a few minutes, just do one petal, one tulip, one leaf at a time. Enjoy the process. I'm just adding some darker areas underneath the tulip flower bud bit and just making that bit a bit darker. And then I'm going to add some splatter. We need splatter. Splatter just makes everything so much better. It just finishes off the picture. And that is it. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. YouTube recommends that you watch this next.